For decades, a mysterious object has circled our planet, shrouded in secrecy, controversy, and speculation. Known as the Black Knight satellite, it has been described as an ancient alien probe, a Cold War relic, and even a harbinger of unknown forces watching us from above. And if the transcript is correct, it's been watching us for 13,000 years. What is it? Who put it there? And more importantly, what does it want? The legend of the Black Knight satellite dates back over a century. Some researchers trace its origins to 1899, when the famed inventor Nikola Tesla reported receiving a series of unexplained radio signals from space. Tesla, a visionary scientist known for his groundbreaking work in electricity and radio waves, was conducting experiments in Colorado Springs when he detected what he described as intelligent, repeating signals, which he described as numbers at a regular interval. He's quoted in a local newspaper as saying, "I believe numbers are being used for communication because numbers are universal." At the time, he speculated that these signals might have come from Mars, a popular theory among early astronomers who believed the red planet could harbor life. Tesla's claims were met with skepticism by the scientific community, but his findings would later gain renewed interest as reports of mysterious space objects and unexplained radio transmissions continued to surface over the years. In the 1920s and 1930s, Norwegian engineer Jorgen Hals detected what he called long-delay echoes, LDs. Radio signals bouncing back to Earth at strange intervals, as if something in space was intercepting them before sending them back. Hals was puzzled by these unusual echoes, which did not conform to any known natural phenomenon. Scientists at the time attempted to explain the LDs as reflections from the moon or disturbances in the Earth's ionosphere, but no definitive explanation was found. Some researchers now speculate that these echoes could have been artificially manipulated by an unknown entity, possibly the Black Knight satellite, monitoring Earth's radio transmissions and responding cryptically. If true, this would suggest the presence of a highly advanced intelligence, one capable of intercepting and retransmitting signals in a deliberate and controlled way. Fast forward to the 1950s, when the Black Knight truly gained notoriety. In 1954, reports surfaced that the U.S. military had detected two unidentified objects orbiting Earth. This was an era before artificial satellites, raising serious questions about their origins. Had a foreign power already developed advanced spacefaring technology, years ahead of what was publicly known? Or was something far older, perhaps even extraterrestrial, lurking in the darkness of Earth's orbit, observing humanity from above? The intrigue deepened when various astronomers and scientists reported detecting inexplicable radio signals seemingly emanating from an unknown artificial source. These signals, strange and inconsistent, were not aligned with any known celestial body or earthly transmission. At a time when humanity was still in the infancy of space exploration, such reports led to speculation that an ancient satellite or probe of unknown origin could be silently orbiting Earth, gathering information. Some theorists even proposed that it could be an artifact from a lost civilization, an alien reconnaissance probe, or evidence of an advanced intelligence beyond our understanding. In 1957, while monitoring the passage of Sputnik 2 over Caracas, a researcher affiliated with the Venezuelan government observed an unusual object in the sky. Initially, he speculated that it might be Sputnik itself. However, he quickly realized this was not possible. Sputnik travels in a prograde orbit, which means it moves from west to east, aligning with the Earth's rotation. In contrast, the object he witnessed was in a retrograde orbit, traveling from east to west, which is opposite to the Earth's rotation. This observation raised questions, as such technology was not known to exist at that time. Throughout the late 1950s, there were several reports of what became known as a dark satellite, further fueling intrigue and speculation about unidentified objects in orbit during that era. In 1960, the U.S. Department of Defense publicly acknowledged the detection of a dark, unidentified object in a near-polar orbit. This revelation sent shockwaves through scientific communities and the general public alike. At the time, neither the United States nor the Soviet Union had the technological capability to place satellites in such an orbit, as the first successful polar orbiting satellite, Discoverer 1, had only been launched in 1959, and even then, its success was debated. Officially, the Pentagon dismissed the object as space debris, possibly from a previous launch. However, skeptics and UFO enthusiasts were unconvinced. If it were merely debris, how had it been detected years before humanity officially ventured into space? And why did it seem to be transmitting signals that defied simple explanations? In August 1960, Grumman Aircraft, a military contractor, was assigned the task of tracking and photographing a mysterious satellite. However, the resulting report and photographs have never been made public. The following year, in May 1961, the Smithsonian Observatory at Harvard detected the same object and issued a press statement regarding its sighting. Initially observed over Florida, the satellite prompted requests for assistance from various bright satellite stations worldwide to help track it. From his laboratory in Paris, Jacques Vallée, often mistakenly referred to as Ballet, was able to observe, track, and even film what is now known as the Black Knight satellite. One notable aspect of this satellite was its polar orbit, which was significant because at that time, no Earth-based satellites were in such an orbit. Polar orbits allow satellites to cover all points on the Earth's surface, making them ideal for comprehensive observation. Another striking characteristic of the object was its size. It was approximately the dimensions of an oil truck and weighed around 15 tons. This raised questions about its origin, as no rocket at that time could launch an object of that size. Vallée and his team were excited by their findings and compiled all their research, photographs, and film into a comprehensive file, which they submitted to their supervisor. Unfortunately, this material was confiscated, and the photos were destroyed while the film was erased. The official explanation for this destruction was that the observatory felt embarrassed for being unable to identify the object, a claim that Vallée and others found dubious. Interestingly, Vallée was not initially a UFO enthusiast before this incident, but the experience transformed him into one. He has since authored 15 books and numerous papers that challenge mainstream scientific views and advocate for the existence of UFOs. To truly validate the existence of the Black Knight satellite, an eyewitness account from orbit was necessary, and just 18 months later, such an opportunity arose. So, in 1963, Gordon Cooper, an American astronaut, piloted Mercury 9, which was the longest American space mission ever at that time, was sent to space to have a glimpse of the mysterious satellite. During the Mercury 9 mission, astronaut Gordon Cooper reported observing a green glowing object in front of his spacecraft. This sighting was corroborated by his ground crew, and a tracking station also confirmed the object's movement, noting that it was traveling from east to west in a prograde direction. After Gordon Cooper returned from the Mercury 9 mission, the media was prohibited from inquiring about his sighting of the green glowing object. The official narrative provided by NASA attributed this incident to an electronic malfunction aboard Cooper's spacecraft. This malfunction reportedly led to elevated levels of carbon dioxide in the cabin, which could have caused hallucinations for the astronaut during his flight. The Black Knight mystery only grew from there. Over the years, numerous images surfaced, supposedly capturing a large, irregularly shaped object in low Earth orbit. These images, taken during various space missions, including those by NASA astronauts, fueled further speculation. Some believed that the Black Knight was not just a passive satellite, but an actively functioning probe designed for surveillance or communication. Others suggested that it could be part of an alien technology operating beyond human comprehension, monitoring Earth's development over centuries or even millennia. Duncan London, a researcher from Scotland, revisited the LD long delay echo, data collected by Norwegian scientists, and discovered intriguing patterns within it. He claimed to have identified a concealed radio message purportedly sent by the Black Knight satellite. London analyzed the LD data and noticed variations that suggested the presence of a code. He plotted the data on a graph, with one axis representing the time delay between echoes and the other indicating the position of each echo in the sequence. Initially, this did not yield any recognizable patterns. By switching the axes, London observed a collection of dots that resembled a sky map, specifically pointing to the constellation Boötis. The only star that appeared out of place in this constellation was Epsilon Boötis, which London speculated could indicate the origin of the Black Knight satellite. To strengthen his hypothesis, he referenced additional radio echoes reported by French astronomers in 1929, which confirmed the same constellation. A significant issue arose with Arcturus, the brightest star in Boötis, which was slightly misaligned in London's findings. Unable to explain this anomaly, he reconsidered his approach, suggesting that the satellite might not have been transmitting a current star map, but rather one from a previous time. The Earth's axial orientation undergoes a complete cycle approximately every 26,000 years. As a result of this precession, the positions of stars appear to shift over long time scales. The movement of the celestial poles and the changing positions of stars are direct consequences of axial precession, affecting how we perceive the night sky. Initially, Arcturus was noted to be out of place in the 1973 star map. London's adjustments for axial precession allowed for a more accurate alignment of the stars. The findings indicated that the Black Knight satellite may have been orbiting Earth for a significant amount of time, rather than being a recent phenomenon. According to the map, it's been here for 13,000 years. Perhaps one of the most famous moments in the Black Knight saga occurred during the STS-88 Space Shuttle mission in 1998. Astronauts aboard the shuttle Endeavour captured several images of an unusual, dark object floating in orbit. NASA later explained that these images depicted a thermal blanket that had inadvertently been lost during extravehicular activity. However, many UFO researchers remained unconvinced, arguing that the object's shape, movement, and apparent persistence in orbit suggested something far more mysterious. The legend of the Black Knight satellite continues to this day, with new theories emerging as technology and space exploration advance. Some claim it is a remnant of an ancient extraterrestrial civilization, left behind as a warning or a relic of a forgotten cosmic history. Others see it as a misunderstood yet natural anomaly, a case of mistaken identity fueled by science fiction and the human imagination. Whatever the truth may be, the Black Knight remains one of the most enduring and captivating space mysteries, inspiring both scientific inquiry and speculation about what might still be lurking in the vast expanse above our planet. If the Black Knight satellite is real, why has its existence been so carefully obscured? Some researchers believe that global governments, particularly the United States, have been aware of its presence for decades and are deliberately suppressing information. Declassified military documents reveal that both NASA and the Department of Defense have studied unexplained objects in Earth's orbit. The Black Knight may be part of a broader cover-up involving secret military space programs, hidden extraterrestrial encounters, or even reverse engineering of unknown technologies. Could it be that the Black Knight holds secrets that could fundamentally alter human understanding of our place in the universe? If so, those in power would have every reason to keep it hidden. One of the most popular theories suggests that the Black Knight is an ancient extraterrestrial probe, possibly thousands, or even millions of years old. It may have been placed in orbit by an advanced civilization to monitor human progress, waiting for us to reach a certain level of technological or intellectual development before making contact. If this is true, then the Black Knight is not a threat, but rather a silent observer, studying us from the shadows. Could the Black Knight be evidence of a forgotten Earth civilization, one that achieved space travel long before recorded history? Some speculate that an advanced pre-Ice Age society, such as Atlantis or another lost civilization, may have launched the Black Knight as a beacon or warning. Various ancient texts reference a mysterious dark object that is said to orbit the Earth. This object is sometimes described as a dark arc, believed to have been placed in orbit thousands of years ago. Some theories suggest that this arc contains genetic information related to human-like species from ancient times. This notion implies that these beings were aware of an impending catastrophe that could threaten their civilization. If this were true, our understanding of history would need to be rewritten entirely. Others argue that the Black Knight is not alien at all, but rather a secretive Cold War-era surveillance device, possibly launched by the Soviet Union or the United States under classified programs. However, skeptics point out that its first recorded sightings predate modern satellite technology, making this theory less plausible. Some go even further, suggesting that the Black Knight is not just a probe, but a form of artificial intelligence, an autonomous observer capable of independent thought and analysis. If so, it may be collecting data, influencing global events, or even subtly guiding humanity's development without our knowledge. So let's unravel the truth. What's correct and what's false? Nikola Tesla did indeed detect radio pulses, but these signals were not of extraterrestrial origin. They were actually pulsars. Pulsars, which are highly magnetized rotating neutron stars that emit beams of electromagnetic radiation. were not officially identified until 1968. To Tesla, these signals may have seemed like intelligent communications, but many scientists believe they are caused by atmospheric phenomena or reflections off plasma clouds from the sun. An interesting theory even suggests that these signals could be bouncing back from the moon. Duncan London's interpretation of the LDS, long delay echo, data as a translation into star maps has faced significant criticism. Initially, he proposed that the signals he analyzed could be mapped to celestial patterns, but this assertion did not withstand rigorous examination. Subsequently, London retracted his claims, stating that there was no scientific basis for his conclusions. He acknowledged that he was merely speculating about the potential meanings of the signals he observed. However, London has since revised his stance once more, expressing a belief that Epsilon Boötis holds particular significance. Regarding the images released by NASA, the official explanation states that during a spacewalk, an astronaut was installing a thermal cover, which accidentally detached and floated away. These images were taken to document the incident involving this space blanket. The retrograde motion of satellites raises questions, especially since such movement is not typical. In the case of the Discoverer 5 satellite, which was catalogued in 1960, the government attributed its retrograde movement to a malfunction of its thrusters, causing it to move in the wrong direction. However, this explanation leads to confusion when considering that news reports from 1960 referenced sightings from 1959. The government claimed that an incorrect date was mistakenly entered into the database, which has led to further speculation. The narrative surrounding the Discoverer program is indeed shrouded in secrecy and deception. The military utilized the Discoverer designation as a facade for the Corona project, which was a covert spy satellite initiative. But what will they say about the worldwide sightings by different institutions and government bodies across the globe? After all our speculation about the Black Knight satellite, one thing remains for sure. Whether it's real or fake, it doesn't matter. But eyewitness accounts from many astronauts and astronomers who put their lives at risk to say these things are not crazy when they do that. And because you want to know the truth, you have to ask questions. But despite the wealth of evidence and speculation, NASA and other space agencies remain tight-lipped about the Black Knight. Officially, they dismiss it as space debris or misidentified objects. Could it be that they know more than they are willing to admit? Interestingly, former astronauts and government insiders have hinted at the possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence and secret space programs. Dr. Edgar Mitchell, the sixth man on the moon, publicly stated that Earth has been visited by non-human entities and that governments are actively hiding this information. Could the Black Knight be part of this grand cosmic cover-up? If the Black Knight satellite is real, its presence raises profound questions. Are we truly alone, or are we under surveillance by an unknown intelligence? If it is an alien probe, will it ever reveal itself? Or is it waiting for humanity to reach a specific stage before making contact? As technology advances, amateur astronomers and independent researchers may soon provide answers that official sources refuse to acknowledge. The truth, whatever it may be, is out there, waiting in the silence of space, watching over us from the dark. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Future Destiny. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing topics like this one. You can click the video on your screen, which talks about the world's biggest hidden agenda, the Project Blue Beam.